Today, Baba is first making us sit in the awareness of the confluence age. And the awareness of the self is important, the awareness of Baba is important, but even the awareness of time is very important because just like the soul has qualities, just like Baba is the ocean of all qualities, time also has its own qualities. Yes, and sometimes we don't take cognizance of it. I remember many years back when I was very early in this practice. At that time, I met a lady and she was an astrologer. And I was just, trying to understand Gyan at that time. And I was having a conversation in which I was voicing whatever I understood from Gyan, and I was also trying to understand where she is coming from. And then I asked her, do you think that the future can be changed? So, or the present can be changed. For example, if this is a time when things are destined to go in a certain way, then do you think there are methods that exist which can change the flow of events and change how things will pan out in the present moment? And she said, absolutely not. So I said, so you are saying that whatever is destined in the present moment will pan out like that, yes? So she said, of course. So then I said, then what is the use of prediction? So, astrology is all about prediction and what the ensuing time holds for me. That's what people want to figure out. And you are also doing that. So, what is the purpose of that? So then she said, the purpose is not to change anything because nothing can be changed, but the purpose is to prepare yourself. So when you know that something is going to happen or something is destined, then you can mentally, physically, financially, prepare, plan accordingly. So I told her that, but this is not how people think. And I'm sure that people who are approaching you are not approaching you for preparedness, they are approaching you for changing it. So she said, yes, that's also true. So I said, then why do you, um, so then why don't you tell them the truth? So she said, truth is very hard to digest. So I said, then do you think that you're doing something wrong? You're misguiding people. So she said, no, I'm just preparing them. And for that, I'm not using, direct knowledge. I am telling them that, you are wearing this stone or you are, wearing this or that, or you have done this havan or puja or whatever. And that will help you deal with it better, and then they become mentally prepared. And she said, and it is a win-win, we both profit from that, and that person is also having a lot of money and they compensate me, so what is wrong about it? So I said, no, I'm just trying to understand. And then I asked her, okay, so if this is so, then somebody, who is very observant about his circumstances, they can feel what time is it, can they not? So, for example, if I am a businesswoman and I am, I'm doing my best, but then uh, things are not going my way. So then, don't I understand that this is not a good time to try very hard? I must, take a little break and then try at a different time. So just like, sometimes you are trying to solve a maths problem or something, and then you understand you're having a block, and then what do? You do something else and then you come back to it. This is, so somebody who is very observant can understand this. So she said, yes, but do you think people are that observant? So I said, no. So she said, it's not about. So then I told her that here in the Brahma Kumaris, we have this understanding that God is giving us the knowledge of time. And if I have faith in God and what He says, then I understand that what time it is and I do the actions as He says. So she said, yes, if you can have that faith, then wonderful. Yes, but if people don't have that faith, then this is it. So you see that time is such an important thing, and then there are then time also has its qualities, and in the world, people know about Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, and Kal Yug, which is all reference to different points of time. And then you also talk about the different qualities of these different yugas, but nobody knows Sangam Yug. Nobody knows the confluence age or this time when when there is a meeting of the soul with Baba, and then if we believe in this or we have faith there, then we can draw everything that we need from Baba. So this is the time, just like, for a farmer, there is a right time to sow the seed, there is a right time to water the seed, harvest the plant, or, harvest the grain, and there is a right time to sell it also and earn profit. Similarly, there is a time for sowing the seeds of good karma, because the one who knows the intricacies of the philosophy of karma comes and tells us about what is good karma, what is bad karma, what is akarma, and how we have been, just what do you say, calling out our misfortune by engaging in bad karma. That is what Baba teaches us at this time. And Baba says, you are here in the confluence age right now. And today, Baba speaks a very simple line. Baba says, people spend so much money uh, creating idols of marble, idols of deities. So people carve them on stone, and there are schools where they teach you sculpture, and then there are many people who do that. But Baba is the one who teaches us how to become an idol. So Baba is not teaching us how to make an idol. So, people are very interested in the murti, in creating the murti. So, when there is a festival, so you bring home an idol of, maybe brass or stone or anything, and you, with lot of love, you venerate that idol, you establish its place in your home. But Baba says, I am here in the confluence age to make a deity out of you, not an idol, but a living deity out of you. And Baba says that you are the ones who are going to become the deity if you follow what I say. And Baba says, I am here creating living idols, and I am also here creating a world for those living idols. So, just like, in the world, people create an idol of a deity, and then they also create a temple where the deity is, put. So, Baba says, I am creating, you have to become living deities now, and then you have to go to that world where deities live. So, that living world of deities. And this is the act that Baba is teaching us how to do in Sangam Yoga. And Baba says that I am called the bestower of liberation and liberation in life. Okay, Mukti and Jivan Mukti. Now, people think that the word mukti or liberation means that you are free from the cycle of birth and death. Yes, so they think that mukti means you don't come into the cycle of birth and death. But Baba says, no, you cannot, that is not an option. It is never possible for a soul to never come on this stage. You are a soul, you are an actor, you have to play your part. And then people think, what is Jivan Mukti? So, Jivan Mukti means dharmatmas in this world. They think they are in Jivan Mukti because they are doing good karma. Yes. So, I remember there was somebody who sent me a short reel of some sannyasi, and he's a very well-known sannyasi, and that brother soul, he was talking about, so everybody was saying that, you are in a state of happiness because you are doing this good karma, and you are giving lectures to so many and guiding the path for so many and giving the light to so many. And then that sadhu, from his own, in his own words, he said, no, that's what you think, but I'm in deep sorrow inside. I'm not, my heart is aching, and I'm not in contentment. And even if it is, my seeking of going and merging in the Brahma, as they think, that I have to go and merge in the Brahma element or whatever, I'm waiting for that. I'm not in happiness right now, the way you think. You are enjoying me. I'm not enjoying all this. And this is in his own words, he said that. And he said that my heart is constantly crying for my deity. So the experience of my inner self is that of crying. And I was very, so I found that very interesting because, people think that, so you see, and then then the person who was asking questions, he also asked that if it is so, then we find you laughing and smiling with, all the people around. And if somebody is cracking a joke, then you respond very appropriately. It's not like you have a demure face when somebody is cracking a joke or something. And then he said, this is just an act. I'm doing what you would like to see. You wouldn't like to see me having a, serious face when you're cracking a joke, because you've come all the way to experience something and I'm making you experience that. But that's not my inner experience. That's just an act. And it was very interesting to hear that, because if you look inside, then maybe somebody is doing a good act right now, but are they in happiness? Are they in contentment? Are they in peace? That's a totally different question. And these two things are these two things are poles apart for everybody. A person who is, even with children, very little children these days, we conduct programs for children, and then you ask them, are you happy? They say no. And then you think, why are they not happy? I asked, there was this 4-year-old child yesterday, he had come, and I asked them, so what's going on in your life? So what is the update? So he said, these days diseases are going on. So I said, diseases? What is diseases? So he said, I have an upset stomach and I'm vomiting because I ate something and I'm in pain. So I was very shocked to hear that his experience of life is not happy. And then I told him, so, you should say that, I will only eat what is offered bhog to Baba, because his mother is in Gyan. So I told that whatever your mom offers bhog to Baba as, you eat only that. And then he said, I think I'll have to do that. So he also understood that, I'm eating stuff from outside and that is not helping me. And he's also trying to make a decision to eat food at home. So just think about the experience of life that everybody has. And Baba says this is not liberation in life. So, Baba introduces us to the truth about liberation and liberation in life. Liberation is mukti, liberation in life is jivan mukti. And Baba says, mukti means you go home, but that doesn't mean you are free from the cycle of birth and death. So, whatever time you spend in your mukti dham, in your sweet home, that time is called mukti. But that doesn't mean you never come onto the stage. And Baba says Jivan Mukti is not an act. Jivan Mukti is a stage of the world and a stage of the soul where there is no sorrow. So Baba says there are two yugas in which there is Jivan Mukti, Satyug and Treta Yuga. And Baba says in those two yugas, 1250 years each, 2500 years totally, there is no reason or experience of sorrow. There is only purity, peace, happiness. The experience of life is of constant purity, peace, and happiness. And Baba says it's not that you suffer inside and you just, do good acts outside, or you put up a smile outside. That's not Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti is an actual stage of the world and of the soul, and that many people in the world, they have no idea about. And you see, we have heard this expression sankalp se srishti, which means that your thought creates the world. Now, the interesting thing is, if you don't even have a world where there is the experience of constant and eternal purity, peace, and love in the world, if you don't have even an idea of that, then how can you create that world? If you think that's not possible, if it was possible to conduct a survey where every person of the world answered whether they believe that eternal peace and happiness is possible, total peace and happiness is possible, then I'm sure most people would say that's not possible. And then how can you attract or create that which you think is impossible? So that's why, this world is increasingly becoming hell, and there is no creation, there is no step towards the creation of that world of happiness, because most people don't think that world exists. Yes, I remember, there was this one friend of mine, and we were in school, and I used to ask her, what will you do after school? And she said, I would get married. So I said, but why would you get married? So she said, because everybody gets married. So I said, no, no, not everybody gets married. So she said, no, everybody gets married. You keep quiet. So I said, okay, so, and why do you think everybody gets married? Because that's how she has seen life. That's the society she has seen. And she immediately after school, 2 years, she did some cooking courses, and then she got married at 18. And then, now, when we were 30 years of age, at that time when we connected, She said, "You are having such a good life and I'm not." So I said, "But you chose that." So she said, "No, I didn't choose it." So I said, "No, you chose that. You didn't even dare to think differently. We had so many conversations, remember, and you always said this is the only possibility. Then how could you have a different life?" So she said, "But I didn't understand that at that time." So then I told her, "Okay, now you do the course and understand many things which you will repent later that I didn't know." So you see that if it's not in my visualization also, how can I create it? So Baba says most people in the world think that there is no real Jivan Mukti possible. And Baba says, I give you the knowledge of the drama that for 2 yugas there is no illness, no sorrow, no untimely death, no experience of, disharmony, no experience of lack of peace and happiness. And Baba says that I tell you the method to go there also. And I tell you how you came to this state of bondage in life. So Baba says, when you do karma, which is motivated by vices, then you come in bondage. Yes, so how do we come into a Jivan Bandh or bondage in life? When you do karma motivated by vices. And just ask yourself, right from the time we get up until the time we sleep, what percentage of karma is not motivated by vices? So, people get up for children, for husband, for the wife, or for earning money. So, even your getting up is motivated by greed or attachment. So, everything that you are doing is motivated by vices these days. Yes, I remember there was this one person, they used to go for a walk every day. And I said, "Why do you go for a walk every day?" So that person said, "Because I don't want to fall ill." So I said, "But that's not how you should think. You should think that going for a walk is normal and natural. Why are you, constantly creating that thought of illness while going for a walk?" So, fear is driving you. So, why should fear drive such a good action as going for a walk? So, you go for a walk because that's what you do, not because of fear or attachment. And I think that these days people have a reason for doing everything, and that reason is the problem. Why do you need a reason for everything? Why people ask us, "Why do you get up at 4?" So I said, "What do you want? We should keep sleeping or what?" It is normal and natural to get up, and normal and natural to get up at the right time. What is wrong with that? Why do you have to have a reason to get up at 4? Why do you have to have a reason to, do something, do a good act, or, have a good thought? Why should somebody deserve your good wishes or good feelings? Why can't you just radiate good feelings and good thoughts because that's you? So, Baba says every action that we do in Kali Yuga is motivated by vices, and vices means expectation. So, when you are motivated by vices, it can never be selfless action. So, if greed motivates you, then you need the fruit of profit. If ego motivates you, you need appreciation, acknowledgement, and recognition. Yes, so why do we need appreciation and acknowledgement and recognition for doing our work? Yes, you are just doing your work. That's it. Why do you need somebody to pat you on the back for that? Because it is your ego that motivates you. You're doing it for recognition, appreciation, and the approval. So this is why, everything that we are doing is being done with expectation. If you are attached to someone, then you expect them to behave nicely with you, or belong to you, or be yours. Yes, and where there is expectation, there is disappointment. Yes, and then what happens is, when there is disappointment, then there is fear. So you do something for 10 years, and then you are doing it with expectation which you don't even know. And then when the expected result is not coming, then you are afraid to do it again, because then you dread that the same result will come and it will make you more heartbroken. But the problem is not the result, the problem is the seed with which you're doing karma. And I will tell you one episode from this journey of mine. So, when we come into Gyan, we don't understand these subtleties. So, I came into Gyan, I became an instrument for Seva very early. But I didn't understand these deep things. And just like everybody does everything with, the vicious intent. So, there was one Mata, she used to come to the center and she was very sweet. She was elder to me, and she was very sweet. So I used to give her the course, but then she used to give me more than I used to give her. And she used to, inquire about my well-being and inquire about anything, everything. And Didi, you need something, I'm there, I'm just one call away. And she was so sweet that I didn't even realize I was very attached to her. And then, just like people change, she changed. And then I was very heartbroken. And this happened very early. So I was so heartbroken. I went to Didi and I told, I don't want to do this seva and all. People are very thankless. I cannot do all this. And you keep your seva. I'm good with my ordinary life and I cannot do all of this. And this is a thankless job and nobody understands. And so Didi said, all that you are saying is okay, is true, but then why are you upset? This is the truth. So, it is a thankless job, and you will not get what you are sowing immediately. All of that is truth, but why are you upset? So I said, because of all this. So she said, no, you are not upset because of all this. A person is upset because of their own karma. So what is it that you did wrong because of which you are upset? So I said, I didn't do anything wrong. I was very nice. I was giving the course. I was. So she said, no, you did something wrong. See, you cannot be sorrowful if you're not making a mistake. So you sit with yourself and think about it. She didn't tell me anything. She just told me, you go sit with yourself and think about what mistake you're making. And then I came back and I dwelt on it. And in Amrit Vela, I used to just, tear my head apart and ask Baba, where did I go wrong? And then it dawned on me that I'm doing seva. Why did I get attached to that woman? And because of that, I am suffering. So I'm not suffering because of what she did or who she is. I'm suffering because I am attached. So then I told Didi that I'm suffering because I became attached. So Didi said, yes, and you have to learn your lesson that lokik, alokik, whatever, you don't have to be attached. You have to keep Baba in between. And it's not like she said it and I did it. It took me some time to understand how to do it, how to be that person who does everything in a selfless way or as an instrument, really. It took many years. But what I'm saying is, this is the seed of sorrow. And Baba says that you are sorrowful because every karma you are doing is planting the seed of sorrow, because every karma is being done with attachment and expectation. Whether it's attachment to name, fame, money, or to post position or appreciation, or to people or to things, everything is being done with attachment and expectation. So Baba says, now you want to liberate yourself from the bondage of karma. You start doing everything for me. So don't do anything for anybody. So, I'm telling you about the third stage, which is doing everything without any reason because it's natural and normal. But how do you reach that stage? By first doing everything for Baba. Get up for Baba, cook for Baba, earn for Baba. Whenever you're coming in contact, have the intention that I'm coming in contact with the soul to give Baba's introduction, to be Baba's instrument and show, how loving and peaceful and giving Baba is. So Baba says, do everything for me. Don't do it for anyone or anything. Do it for me, although the benefit will be taken by everyone, but do it for me. Don't have any person or anything or any attainment as your goal for any action. And Baba says this act will liberate you from the bondage of karma. Yes. So that is how we move from the world of, Jivan Mukti to Jivan Bandh to again Jivan Mukti. So when we come into vices, we come into Jivan Bandh or bondage. And then when we again go back to doing everything as a Karm Yogi, which means doing everything for Baba, then we go back to Jivan Mukti, which is a permanent stage for 2500 years. Okay? Anybody would like to share something?
Om Shanti Devi.
Om Shanti.
Today, Baba is telling us the importance of confluence age. This is so much important time to sow our seeds of fortune. And for this, we have to be constant server and in remembrance
Correct.
of Baba.
Correct. Yes.
Om Shanti.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti.
Today, first point which I liked is Baba is creating living idols of deities, and this same Baba is creating the world also for the deities.
Yes.
So I liked it. Somehow I liked it too much.
Yes.
And one more thing. I used to think about it early also, but today it is more prominently sitting in my mind that any kind of sorrow is an outcome of vices. Although we blame others or we complain about the situation, but any kind of sorrow, I think it is the outcome of only and only vices within us.
Yes.
And it can be attachment, expectation, ego, whatever is the reason, but it is something inside us. And anything outside is just a scene, but it's when we declare it as good or bad, it's because from the lenses we see the vices that is inside us, from the lenses of our own vices.
Yes.
It's something very, very strong. It will take some time for me to digest and put it in my own life. And one more thing, so when we come to know about this, then we have to start doing everything for Baba. And that Baba should only be the reason for our living this life.
Yes.
Although we are doing everything, Lokik, maybe we are doing everything, but the reason for it should and only be Baba.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti Devi.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Devi.
Om Shanti.
Baba is called the restorer of liberation and devotion in life.
Mm.
And today is explaining. Good morning, Shilpa Didi. This is Dorai Raj. And I learned today about self-awareness and awareness of time. Thank you
Yes.
so much for that, madam.
Thank you
so
bhai.
much.
Thank you. हाँ जी अमृताबेन प्लीज. हाँ जी.
Om Shanti Devi.
Om Shanti.
Guru Baba is called the restorer of liberation and liberation in life. And today he is clearly explaining both the concepts. In the world, both the concepts are very flawedly like understood by people. Mukti doesn't mean that we will come out of the cycle of birth and death. And Dharmatma also thinks that they are in Jivan Mukti because they are performing certain good activities like performing good karma, like they are giving lectures and making people aware of many things, but contentment and peace is missing in their life. So Jivan Mukti is not just an act, but it is the stage of the people and the world. And Baba explains that it happens in Satyug and Treta,
Yes.
which is for 5,000, which is for 2,500 years, 150 years each, and it is a stage of constant purity, peace, and happiness and prosperity. There is no lack of disharmony, and everything is no illness and no sorrow.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to share?
Yeah, Om Shanti
Om
Didi.
Shanti.
So today Baba explained to us that our state of mind is only our own attachments, and the way to get to overcome that is probably just to always think of and do every action for Baba and keep him in the mind and keep him in between.
Yes.
Starting from waking up to eating to, of course, working and continuing to do our daily works.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Shanti Devi.
Om Shanti.
Physical problems also cause sorrow, Devi.
Yes, physical
Because
forms.
we are attached to it.
Because we are attached to the body. Otherwise, when we are in Karm Yoga, the illness would be there, the pain would be there, but the suffering wouldn't be there. Yes? Okay.
Okay, Devi.
Om Shanti.
Thank you.
हाँ रजनी बेन बोलो.
Ji, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I would almost like to take the same point that we have to shift the thought that whatever I'm doing, it is for the Baba.
Yes.
And then only we can become free from all the bondages and becomes Jivan Mukti.
Yes.
Just shift because we become sorrowful. We have done anything wrong. So we have to be careful about our intentions that by doing any karma, what are our intentions? Is are we doing for with the vices?
Yes. Thank
you. Have to be careful about our karma.
Okay, ji. Thank you.
Om Shanti Devi.
Om
I
Shanti.
just like the idea of Baba making us the real deities, adorning, and I was just imagining like we adorn the deities with ornaments. Baba is adorning us with virtues and powers, and he is all the time chiseling our intellect, man buddhi ko, sharpening and going inside and introverted. So I felt very beautiful about it,
Correct.
that the process of making it to deities.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Om Shanti. I'll, tell you one more experience. So there was this one person and that, so Baba's child and not attending classes, not doing anything for a long time. And then they just wrote a letter yesterday that, I'm feeling very guilty and stuff. So then I said, it's okay. You just put a full stop to it and start your Purusharth. Then that Baba's child told me, you're very kind. So I said, yes, I'm very kind to you, but are you kind to yourself? So, sometimes we think that kindness is somebody letting go of our mistakes, but somebody letting go of our mistakes is not kindness. I letting go of my own mistakes is kindness. I should have the power to change that. And when Baba teaches us to become a deity, just like Shipravan was sharing, that we have to constantly chisel ourselves, or reform ourselves, adorn ourselves, and that is an act of kindness. You sculpting a piece of stone is not that hard, but reforming yourself is an act of deep kindness. It's not effort alone. You need a lot of self compassion to do that. Okay, Shanti.